Hello, friends, and welcome to this life-altering video dedicated to the incredible power of breathing. Breathing transcends the mere act of inhaling vital oxygen and expelling carbon dioxide. It's an essential component of life, endowed with a hidden power largely unknown to most. In our explorative journey today, we will delve into ancient traditions that unearth a profound connection between our breath and our mental well-being. Surprisingly, the secret to quieting that incessant, restless voice in your head is as close as your next breath. Here's a startling revelation. Research indicates that the simple act of observing your breath, without any attempt to modify it, can considerably diminish activity in the brain regions associated with anxieties, plans, and distractions. This magical transformation occurs by merely focusing on your breath's natural ebb and flow. You might find yourself pondering, how can this be? How does something as routine and overlooked as breathing hold such immense power for mental restoration? Well, stay with us, because by the end of this video, we will unveil an ancient breathing technique that has the capacity to tranquilize even the most agitated mind. Before we unveil these ancient secrets, let's fully immerse ourselves in the intricate dance between the mind and breathing. To do this, I will narrate an enlightening Zen story, steeped in tradition and wisdom, illustrating this link in a vivid and tangible manner. Following this, to deepen our exploration of this potent yet subtle nexus, I will introduce you to 20 extraordinary breathing techniques aimed at calming the mind. These techniques are straightforward yet profound, and can be seamlessly incorporated into your daily life, particularly useful when your mind is racing or you're engulfed in stress. So, first, let's settle in comfortably. Prepare to be captivated by this insightful story, and then gear up to learn these 20 mental breathing techniques. I assure you, these techniques will significantly alter the way you navigate and handle the daily stressors of life. Let's embark on this transformative journey. Serenity awaits you just beyond the horizon. Our story begins with a monk named Taken, solitary in a dense forest, wrestling with his turbulent mind amidst an attempt at meditation. His thoughts, relentless and unyielding, cascade through his mind, obstructing his quest for inner peace. Overwhelmed with frustration, he stands abruptly, his outburst echoing through the forest, startling a flock of birds into flight. Taken then wanders aimlessly, consumed by a sense of defeat. His teacher had tasked him with a 3-day meditation challenge, yet here he was, unable to still his mind for even a moment. As hours slip by, Taken's inner turmoil amplifies, the cacophony of his thoughts becoming increasingly distracting. Abruptly, a single raindrop lands upon his head, and he glances skyward to witness a dramatic display of lightning, followed by the deep rumble of thunder. Within moments, the gentle drizzle transforms into a relentless downpour. Desperate for shelter, Taken dashes through the storm, the lightning intermittently revealing his path through the tempest. The storm intensifies, winds howling fiercely, bending trees to their breaking point, and rain lashing against Taken's face with merciless force. Just when Taken's resolve begins to falter, he glimpses what appears to be a cave entrance. Summoning his last reserves of strength, he makes a dash towards this potential haven, reaching its depths as the storm reaches a crescendo. Inside the cave, drenched and gasping from his ordeal, Taken collapses to the ground, his heavy breathing resonating in the cavernous space. Gradually, his heart rate steadies, but his mind is besieged by dark thoughts. I am a failure, he repeats internally. Trapped in this cave, far from any semblance of civilization, his failure to complete his meditation trial weighs heavily on him. He envisions his teacher's disappointment, as negative thoughts swirl uncontrollably. As Taken grapples with despair, and tears begin their descent down his cheeks, an unusual scent captures his attention. This mysterious fragrance evokes a distant memory, elusive yet familiar. Driven by curiosity, he rises, following the enigmatic scent deeper into the cave. With each step, the temperature rises, transitioning from a soothing warmth, a stark contrast to the chilly rain he had just escaped, to an almost unbearable heat as he nears the scent source. The young monk, Takin, now drenched in sweat, was singularly fixated on discovering the source of the alluring aroma that seemed to exert a magical pull on him. His mind, laser-focused, paid little heed to the suffocating heat or the oppressive, dark confines of the narrow rock passage that ensnared him. The tunnel, a mere sliver in the earth, abruptly widened, revealing a spectacular underground cavern. It was dimly lit by the ominous glow of molten lava oozing from fissures in the walls and the rough, uneven floor. Takin realized he was on the brink of an inactive volcano, the source of the tantalizing scent that had so captivated him. As if under a spell, his clothes clinging to his sweat-soaked body, Takin inched closer to the edge of a crevice. Through it, a river of molten, reddish rock flowed sluggishly. Just then, as a voice seemed about to emerge from the depths, a powerful shout echoed from behind him. "Stop!" The command jolted Takin, and he spun around swiftly. There, before him, stood an elderly bald man, garbed in a simple gray robe. His eyes were closed, yet he exuded an aura of unshakable calm. Instinctively, Takin recognized him as a master. "Come, sit with me," the old man said. He explained that Takin had been exposed for too long to the toxic fumes emanating from the fiery lake. Takin obeyed silently, moving away from the intoxicating volcanic aroma. As he distanced himself, it felt as though he was awakening from a trance. He soon regained his clarity of mind but began to feel weak and dizzy, teetering on the brink of unconsciousness at the volcano's edge. "Take a deep breath. The fresh air will help you recover," the old man advised, offering him a bowl of water. Takin drank eagerly. With each deep breath, vitality seemed to flood back into his body. He recounted his entire ordeal to the mysterious old man who had rescued him from the volcanic enchantment's grasp. He spoke of his struggles to quiet his mind for his master's meditation challenge and how he had ended up trapped in the cave, fleeing the violent storm. The wise monk listened attentively, nodding silently from time to time. When Takin finished his story, the old man spoke slowly. "I have dedicated my life to studying the restless nature of the mind. Like you, many spiritual seekers come to these places fleeing internal storms, seeking mental calmness, but few succeed." Referring to the hypnotic allure of the sleeping volcano, Takin understood that it was a metaphor for the spell that nearly led him to gaze into the searing lava. The volcanic aroma clouds the mind and weakens the will. It represents worldly desires, distractions, everything that prevents us from quieting the spirit to meditate, the monk continued. Then, with a more animated tone, he declared, "But fear not, young friend. Now that you have overcome the lure of base instincts, I can impart unique knowledge to tame your restless mind through breathing." Takin's eyes lit up at these words. Finally, someone would show him the key to silencing that incessant inner voice. The monk began to explain an ancient technique of counting inhalations and exhalations. Focusing on each number, a simple task yet requiring continuous effort, prevented any other thought from gaining control. With practice, Takin would be able to extend the count, thereby lengthening periods of mental stillness. Takin dedicated the following hours to mastering the technique under the watchful eye of a wise man. He managed to count up to higher numbers before losing concentration, each time achieving longer periods of serene mind through respiratory counting. But as he prepared to rest, a roar shook the cavern. Takin leapt to his feet as a loud roar echoed through the space. He looked around, alarmed, trying to discern the source of the disturbance. The old monk, however, remained unmovable, eyes closed, back straight, sitting in a lotus position on a flat rock. "Do not be afraid, young friend. That sound is the awakening of the great bear that inhabits these caves," the monk said calmly and serenely. In fact, the monk seemed to glow, emitting a faint golden light as if entering a highly meditative state. However, Takin could not find peace. He knew Tibetan bears could be very aggressive, and he feared the noise indicated the beast was rapidly approaching their position. In mere seconds, powerful snorts thundered through the dark tunnel, following the path Taken had taken earlier, lured by the intoxicating volcanic aroma. The bear's snorts grew louder and closer, and Taken began to panic. In a state of sheer desperation, Taken frantically searched for an alternate way out, but the cave offered no escape. He was utterly cornered. It was at this critical moment that he recalled the teachings he had just received about calming the mind. He needed to concentrate on counting his inhalations and exhalations. Closing his eyes, Taken prepared to resume the respiratory counting technique. The bear's powerful snorts were now alarmingly close. As he began to inhale and exhale, silently pronouncing numbers, Taken felt his heartbeat slowing. When the furious bear finally burst into the cave, Taken was deep into his count, fully immersed in his breathing with his eyes firmly shut. The imposing bear halted in front of the young monk, intrigued. It sniffed at Taken, who remained motionless, counting breaths. After a few moments of examination, the animal turned and retreated the way it had come. Taken opened his eyes, flooded with relief. It had worked. By calming his mind and focusing on his breathing, he had managed to stay composed and avert an attack from the bear. Elated by his success in using the breathing counting technique to avoid the bear's aggression, Taken knelt in gratitude before the elderly monk, who remained imperturbable in his lotus position on the large rock. "Master, I owe my life to you," Taken exclaimed. "Your teachings on using breath to quiet the troubled mind have proven to be incredibly effective and saved me from certain death. Please, I implore you to share more of your profound wisdom so that I may achieve complete mastery over my mind." The sage monk opened his deep amber eyes and looked kindly at Taken. "My young friend, it fills me with pride and hope that you have grasped the great secret that connects breathing with peace of mind. Using the simplest but most powerful of techniques, you are now ready for me to impart more advanced knowledge to you about this mysterious connection between breath and mind." With these words, the old monk rose agilely despite his age and gestured for Taken to follow. They exited the volcanic cavern through narrow tunnels that Taken hadn't noticed before, illuminating their path with torches. After about an hour of silent walking, they glimpsed the cave's exit. Intense, warm light flooded the outside, indicating that the storm had passed. Stepping out, they were greeted by a lush spring landscape, meadows abloom with wildflowers, and sunbeams sneaking through the tops of tall trees. A crystal-clear stream flowed nearby, its soothing sound adding to the tranquility. "This is a special place, possessing great healing power for the restless mind," explained the monk. "Here resides Isara, a solitary healer skilled in treating spiritual ailments using the energies of plants and Mother Earth." Isara, the healer, greeted them with a bow and a warm smile. The old monk relayed Taken's story and his recent progress in mastering his mind using breathing techniques. Isara listened intently, examining Taken from head to toe. She then led them to her small cabin near the stream and offered seats around a fire on plush woolen pillows. Once settled, Isara spoke, her gaze fixed on Taken. "I sense much turbulence in your eyes, young man. Although you have made strides toward mental stillness, you need to connect more deeply with your body." She then took several dry branches and threw them into the fire, chanting in an ancient language. The flames grew intense, turning a vivid bluish hue, filling the air with a pleasant fragrance. "The fire purifies us and reminds us that everything is in flux, nothing remains static, just like our breath, just like our thoughts that come and go." After meditating on these words in front of the flames, Isara instructed Taken to lie face up on some soft cushions. She placed her hand skillfully on the young monk's abdomen. "Take a deep breath, filling your entire belly with air, then release it very slowly, deflating your body as if it were a water skin." Taken, following Isara's guidance, found himself astonished by his own lung capacity. Breathing deeply, he felt his abdomen expand with air, and upon exhaling, a wave of relaxation cascaded through his body. The pair continued this practice for an extended period, Taken inhaling as much air as he could, holding it briefly, then releasing it slowly as instructed by Isara. Each exhalation brought more relaxation than the last, and Taken gradually felt his mind harmonizing with the rhythm of his deep breaths. When he finally opened his eyes, the blue flames of the fire seemed to dance in his gaze, mirroring Ishara's serene demeanor. Ishara, noticing Taken's progress and connecting his breathing with a sense of tranquility, began preparing a medicinal tea from aromatic herbs. As she skillfully mixed water and crushed plants, the old monk shared traditional stories highlighting the mysterious relationship between breathing and the mind. One particular tale that captivated Taken was about a hermit named Sin who, during a bandit attack, managed to stay calm and save his life by focusing solely on his breathing. This hermit, meditating in a cave, was approached by 3 outlaws demanding his possessions. With great composure, the hermit offered them a different kind of treasure, the richness of spirit through breathing exercises. To Taken's amazement, these once fearsome criminals were transformed, moved to tears by the power of meditation. Inspired by this story, Taken aspired to learn all he could to master this powerful technique. As the sun began to set, painting the horizon with its fiery hues, the old monk and Taken thanked Isara for her invaluable knowledge and bid her farewell. Isara embraced them, imparting a final piece of wisdom to Taken: remember, your breath is the anchor that keeps your restless mind in the present. That night, after a day filled with intensive training in the breathing techniques he had learned, Taken retreated to a small stone chamber to rest. He anticipated a peaceful night's sleep, free from turbulent thoughts. As expected, he woke up at dawn feeling completely rejuvenated. The morning sun illuminated his simple stone cell, where he had slept soundly on a straw cot. Quickly freshening up and donning his linen robes, Taken set out to find his venerable master. He found the old cave monk meditating in a lotus position, bathed in the golden light of the rising sun. "Good morning, great sage," Taken greeted, kneeling beside him on the dewy grass. "May I join you in your morning meditation?" The monk, noting Taken's refreshed and alert demeanor, welcomed him to join in silent contemplation of the dawn. Closing his eyes, Taken focused on his breathing as Isara had taught him. Gradually, his mind calmed, silencing the internal chatter. But this tranquility was abruptly disrupted by guttural croaks. Taken's eyes snapped open, and he saw a majestic crowned eagle struggling to free itself from some rocks at the mountain's base, its wing visibly injured. Without a word, Taken sprang into action, swiftly climbing the steep slope to assist the trapped bird. As he approached the eagle, Taken could see the fear and pain in its eyes. He spoke softly, trying to calm the majestic creature as he carefully assessed the situation. The eagle's wing was trapped under a small boulder. Taken knew he had to act quickly but with great care to avoid further injury to the bird. He remembered the teachings of his master and Isara about the importance of being present and calm in challenging situations. Taking a deep breath, he centered himself, focusing on the task at hand. With gentle yet firm movements, he managed to lift the boulder, freeing the eagle's wing. The bird, now released, flapped its wings a few times, testing its newfound freedom. Taken watched in awe as the eagle took flight, soaring into the sky, its majestic form a silhouette against the rising sun. He felt a deep connection with the natural world at that moment, a profound sense of being part of something greater than himself. This experience reinforced the lessons he had learned about the power of breathing and presence of mind. Returning to the monk, Taken shared his encounter with the eagle, his eyes shining with excitement and gratitude. The monk smiled, recognizing the growth and maturity in his young disciple. "Every creature, every moment, teaches us something valuable," he said. "Your willingness to help and your ability to stay calm in the face of adversity is a testament to your progress." As the day progressed, the monk and Taken continued their practice, exploring deeper aspects of meditation and mindfulness. Taken's journey of self-discovery and mastery over his mind was just beginning, but he had already taken significant steps on this path. The lessons he learned in the cave, from Isara, and through his encounter with the eagle would stay with him, guiding him as he navigated the complexities of life with a calm and centered spirit. When Taken approached the majestic bird, he did so with a blend of awe and careful intention. Gazing at the eagle, he could sense its regal presence, an embodiment of the wild and untamed. The bird, with its piercing eyes, watched him closely, its breathing heavy yet not labored, as if it understood Taken's benevolent intentions. Taken, in turn, spoke in a soft, soothing voice, his words and demeanor exuding peace and calm. As he gently manipulated the wing, assessing the injury with great care, he maintained a serene expression, communicating through his actions that he was there to help, not harm. For several tense minutes, Taken continued his examination, his hands moving with practiced precision. He felt a connection with the bird, a silent understanding that transcended species. Finally, after what seemed like an eternity, the eagle managed to stand up. It unfurled its powerful wings, stretching them to their full span. The sight was awe-inspiring, a testament to the resilience of nature. The bird squawked loudly, a sound that resonated with triumph and vitality. Taken's smile broadened, a sense of accomplishment washing over him. He had helped this magnificent creature, and in return, the eagle, in a surprisingly gentle gesture, rubbed its beak affectionately against Taken's cheek. It was a moment of mutual respect and gratitude. As the eagle took flight, soaring toward freedom, Taken watched with a heart full of pride. The days of intense respiratory training had not only strengthened him physically but had also imbued him with a calmness that had won the trust of the wounded bird. His ability to heal its wounds and enable it to fly again was a powerful testament to the serenity he had achieved through his conscious breathing techniques. With newfound confidence and a sense of fulfillment, Taken nimbly descended the mountainside to rejoin his revered master. The old monk, awaiting him outside the cave, greeted him with a smile that spoke volumes of his pride. "Dear boy, your display of compassion and wisdom has left me speechless," he said, his voice tinged with emotion. "Remember, conscious breathing is the key to connecting with our best nature." Taken, feeling a surge of respect and gratitude, bowed deeply, his cheeks flushed with the praise. He knew, without a doubt, that he was on the true path to virtue and enlightenment, a path illuminated by the mystical relationship between breath and mental stillness. As they shared this moment, the sky suddenly darkened, as if night had descended prematurely. A violent wind began to howl, its force increasing with each passing moment, shaking the treetops violently. Taken looked around, bewildered by the sudden change. Amidst the growing gale, he spotted an old man, struggling to make his way down the hill, leaning heavily on a cane and almost being toppled by the strong gusts. Without hesitation, Taken rushed to assist him, his firm grip ensuring the elderly man did not fall. The old man, introducing himself as Jo, a hermit from nearby forests, smiled gratefully. He explained his intention to reunite with his family after decades of solitary meditation, but he hadn't anticipated encountering such a fierce storm. Sensing the dangers of the tempest and without a second thought, Taken invited him to seek refuge in the caves with the monk until the weather improved enough for a safe passage over the steep mountain peaks. Determined to help, Taken set out to teach Jo his breathing methods, techniques that had helped him maintain calm in the face of the tempestuous elements. Throughout their enforced confinement by the storm, Taken guided Jo through exercises of inhalation, retention, and conscious exhalation. These practices not only had a calming effect on them but also seemed to be in harmony with the raging storm outside. Gradually, as their breathing synchronized and calmed, the storm outside began to mirror their tranquility. After 3 days, when Jo felt ready to resume his journey, they were greeted by a clear, calm sky. The storm had subsided, leaving behind a sense of peace and renewal. Taken accompanied Jo for a considerable distance, ensuring he navigated the most challenging sections of the mountain safely. Once confident that Jo could continue safely on his own, Takin bid him farewell, wishing him luck on his journey. As Takin watched Jo disappear into the distance, the sky remained clear, but a nagging feeling urged him to return to the safety of the caves promptly. On the horizon, a dark, ominous cloud loomed, and the uneasy squawks of birds hinted at impending extreme weather. Takin quickened his pace, reaching the cave just as the sky unleashed a barrage of small, sharp ice stones, whipped into a frenzy by the strong winds. Safely inside, Takin reflected on the events of the past days, feeling a deep connection with the natural world and the ever-present need to remain centered and calm, no matter what challenges life presented. As the storm intensified, bringing with it sub-zero temperatures, Takin felt a surge of urgency. He knew they needed to act fast to secure more firewood and essential provisions before the storm made it impossible to venture outside. Working swiftly and efficiently with the old monk, they gathered what they could, bracing themselves for what was to come. Back at the cave, Takin and the old monk worked together to fortify their shelter. They meticulously insulated the entrance to protect against the relentless weather that battered the mountain. The fierce winds howled outside, but inside, they managed to create a semblance of warmth and safety. As they settled in, they realized they were likely to be cut off from the outside world for at least a week, surrounded by nothing but ice and rock. To maintain calm in this hostile and isolated environment, Takin suggested they engage in intensive breathing exercises. The teacher and pupil sat face to face, each one regulating their inhalations and exhalations. They focused on slowing their heart rates, the dim flicker of torchlight casting shadows around the cave. As they delved deeper into their practice, Takin discovered a profound connection with his breath. He found that in states of deep concentration, he began to experience vivid visions. These visions were like windows to distant times and spaces. Takin saw his mother, who had passed away too early, weaving by the fireplace of his childhood home. He glimpsed scenes of ancient monks practicing meditation in the lofty heights of the Himalayas, recognizing figures he believed to be the founders of Mahayana Buddhism, conversing in ancient Sanskrit. These dreamlike experiences, synchronized with the steady breathing of his revered teacher, revealed to Takin the ephemerality of ordinary linear time and the interconnectedness of all souls through the universal act of breathing. This journey with Takin, a saga of self-discovery, braving incredible challenges, and forming a deep connection with the breath, underscores a profound lesson: the unshakable peace of mind is within us, accessible in every conscious breath we take. By tuning into this inner tranquility and quieting our wandering thoughts through simple yet powerful respiratory techniques, we can transform ourselves, encounter after encounter, with our purest essential being. Takin's introspective journey under the guidance of his spiritual mentors is inspiring. And now, it's time for you, the viewer, to experience the astonishing benefits of mastering the mind through breathing. I will unveil, step by step, 20 invaluable pieces of secular knowledge that will help you achieve clarity, focus, relaxation, and wholeness through something we often take for granted: our conscious breath. Stay tuned and learn. You will surely be proudly smiling from some distant and timeless sacred mountain when you see how Takin's journey has inspired more seekers of mental stillness to breathe and find joy. Let's start with diaphragmatic breathing to reduce stress. Diaphragmatic or abdominal breathing is an incredibly simple yet powerful technique to combat stress and anxiety. It involves deeply inhaling, filling the entire abdominal cavity with air, holding it for a few moments, and then slowly exhaling, emptying all the oxygen. By focusing on bringing the air to the diaphragm area, the muscle that separates the chest from the abdomen, this practice activates the parasympathetic nervous system, which is responsible for relaxation and bodily calm. This technique, when practiced regularly, can have a transformative effect on your overall well-being, allowing you to navigate life stresses with greater ease and composure. The diaphragm's deep breathing movement massages the internal organs, sending direct signals to the heart and brain to slow down the heart rate and lower blood pressure. This process is incredibly beneficial for the body and mind. Practicing abdominal breathing for just a few minutes each day, especially in moments of stress, is highly recommended. It will help you recover calmness, lucidity, and control over your emotions. 2. Counting inhalations and exhalations is a powerful method to calm a wandering mind. If your mind is a whirlwind of thoughts, jumping from one idea to another uncontrollably, this technique can be a game changer. It's an ancient practice from Buddhist meditation traditions, capable of calming even the most hyperactive mental states. The beauty of this technique is its simplicity and accessibility. You can do it anytime, anywhere, with no special equipment needed. You just need to focus on your breath. The process is straightforward. Inhale while mentally counting up to 4, then hold your breath for a count of 2, and finally, exhale for a count of 6. Repeating this cycle, your mind becomes solely focused on the respiratory count, allowing distractions and intrusive thoughts to fade away. It's like giving a gentle but firm command to your brain to pay attention only to the breathing, and in return, your brain will thank you with calmness. A study on Tibetan monks demonstrated that this practice activates the frontal lobe of the brain, which is linked to emotional well-being, and also significantly reduces anxiety and muscle tension. Just 5 minutes of breathing while counting inhalations and exhalations can bring noticeable calming effects. Ideally, practicing for 15 or 20 minutes with your eyes closed will enhance the internal focus. If your mind wanders, don't get frustrated. Simply start the count again from 1 with each new breath. This is the key to gradually taming your monkey mind with kindness, patience, and perseverance. Remember the words of the great Buddhist master Padmasambhava, "In the sphere of the meditator, the air is not confined because the sky lies in your heart." So breathe and elevate your spirit. 3. Slow breathing induces relaxation. If you constantly feel rushed and anxious, your breathing likely mirrors this state of perpetual hustle. This simple breathing trick can slow down your body and mind within minutes. The key is to extend your breaths, making them as slow and deep as possible, savoring each inhalation and exhalation with complete serenity. Extending your breath rhythm has a remarkable effect on your entire nervous and metabolic system, almost like magic. Research confirms that 8 minutes of slow and deep breathing activates the parasympathetic nervous system, responsible for the relaxation response. This triggers a cascade of calming and regenerative effects throughout the body, reducing heart rate, lowering blood pressure, releasing muscle tension, decreasing cortisol levels, and reducing cell and tissue inflammation. The traditions of yoga and Eastern meditation have long known the redemptive power of deep and calm conscious breathing. The key is to find your resilient breathing rhythm, approximately 6 inhalations per minute. This is achieved by focusing all your attention solely on inhaling, briefly holding the breath, and exhaling long and subtly. Not only will you feel the relaxing effects in the present moment, significantly reducing stress and general anxiety, but regular practice can reverse symptoms of anxiety, chronic fatigue, and even autoimmune disorders. 4. Breathing in and out slower to sleep better is essential if you struggle with sleep issues. If you have trouble falling asleep or frequently wake up during the night, this breathing trick for better sleep will be immensely helpful for deep rest. Scientific evidence shows that consciously and slowly breathing has a sedative effect on the nervous system, inducing states of drowsiness and deep relaxation. By focusing on your breathing rhythm before bed, you can effectively calm your mind and body, preparing them for a restful night's sleep. This practice helps to regulate the sleep-wake cycle, promoting not just faster sleep onset but also more continuous, undisturbed sleep. Thus, if you find yourself lying awake at night, troubled by restless thoughts or anxiety, try this simple but effective technique. Breathe slowly, deeply, and with full awareness. It is a natural, non-pharmacological way to invite sleep and ensure you wake up feeling refreshed and rejuvenated. When we consciously lengthen both inhalation and exhalation, we activate specialized sensory fibers known as mechanoreceptors, which are distributed throughout our lungs, chest, and neck. These nerve endings transmit direct signals to the brain, essentially indicating that it's time to prepare for rest. This is because a calm and steady breathing pattern acts as a biological switch, signaling the onset of sleep. The technique is remarkably simple yet profoundly effective. Begin by inhaling silently for a count of 5, then hold your breath briefly. Follow this by exhaling even more slowly for a count of 7. Repeat this cycle continuously. You can practice this technique while lying in bed before sleeping or at any other time during the day when you feel overwhelmed or exhausted. To enhance its relaxing effects, visualize each extended exhalation as a release of tensions and worries, thereby freeing your body and mind from their burdens. The regularity of this respiratory rhythm will soon envelop you in an exquisite sensation of calm and drowsiness, acting as a prelude to the restful world of dreams. Even if sleep doesn't come immediately, this practice of deeply oxygenating every cell and tissue from head to toe generates waves of revitalizing neurochemicals that relax and restore the body. So, for a peaceful sleep, focus your full attention on the delightful dance of inhaling and exhaling. The veil of sleep awaits you just beyond this practice. 5. Deep breathing to quickly calm yourself down is essential, especially in moments of intense stress or anguish. If you feel anxiety and panic taking over, this straightforward but rapid breathing technique can help you regain composure in just a few minutes. Known as square breathing or box breathing, this method is widely used in yoga, meditation, and cognitive behavioral therapy due to its effectiveness in establishing states of serenity and relaxation, even in the most turbulent situations. The process is easy. Inhale for a count of 4, hold your breath for another 4 counts, exhale in 4 counts, and finally, hold your breath without air for 4 seconds. Then, repeat the cycle. This symmetrical rhythm of filling the lungs, pausing, emptying them, and pausing again activates the vagus nerve, which is responsible for slowing down the heartbeat, lowering blood pressure, and reducing the secretion of stress hormones such as adrenaline and cortisol. In just 1 minute of square breathing, you will begin to feel calmer and more centered. You can practice this technique anywhere, sitting at your desk, in your car during a traffic jam, or just before a challenging meeting or presentation that triggers anxiety. Wherever and whenever you feel on the edge of losing control, breathing deeply in this 4x4 rhythm imposes a sense of forced calm that spreads throughout your entire nervous, endocrine, and immune systems. This practice not only mitigates panic and temporary distress but also promotes long-term emotional and physiological resilience, helping you to navigate life's ups and downs with greater ease and equilibrium. Practicing this square breathing technique for just a few minutes each day can yield immense benefits for your long-term physical and mental health. This practice isn't just a quick fix for moments of acute stress, it's a profound tool for cultivating overall well-being and resilience. Over time, regular practice can significantly improve your ability to manage stress, enhance your focus, and elevate your mood. Each deep breath you take is not merely a physiological act, it's a step towards harmonizing your body and mind. When you inhale, imagine drawing in serenity and calmness into every part of your being. As you exhale, envision releasing any accumulated stress or tension, leaving your mind and body in a state of peace. This simple act of breathing deeply, with intention and awareness, can transform your everyday experience. It's a reminder that within you lies a powerful tool to counterbalance the chaos of the outside world. When faced with uncertainty or overwhelming situations, remember this simple mantra: take a deep breath, inhale serenity, exhale peace. By incorporating this practice into your daily routine, you not only equip yourself to handle immediate stressors but also cultivate an enduring sense of tranquility and clarity. Over time, as your practice deepens, you'll likely notice an increase in your emotional resilience, a decrease in feelings of anxiety, and an overall enhancement in your quality of life. This consistent practice is a testament to the power of breathing, a fundamental yet often overlooked aspect of our lives, in nurturing our holistic well-being.